Well, hey, what is going on, everyone? How are you? What is the word? How you guys feeling out there? And I am Solar Gray, and welcome to the dark side of the room. Now, this is the show where we talk about nerd culture, gaming, comics, movies, all this other stuff. Generally from the perspective of people of color, women, quiet you, LGBTQ plus, the neurodivergent, physically disabled, and of course, the fiscally disenfranchised. And welcome to the Wizard's Tower. Welcome to the dark side of the room. And I gotta shut the phone up because it's like, you want to manage your show from the phone? No, I don't. Okay, I'm here with you guys, and man, it has been a weekend. All right, now it's an interesting thing. This weekend there was a couple of other things that was going on that we were handling, and now, how can I put this? And of course, the weekend did what the weekend did, which is present all of these other things that are there. So this is my chance to, completely rewrite the show so that we can cover a couple of relevant things, but more to the point, and this is a really, really, really big one. Talk to you guys about some pop culture stuff, and again, why we are here. Okay, so sit back, relax. Now, the other thing I gotta do is the thing I always gotta do. So let's just get through this and make it as least painful as possible. You know what I mean? And with that, I'm gonna say all of the beginning of the show stuff, because every show has credits and all that jazz. So if you guys got any questions or comments or subject verifications or anything like that, feel free to send me a letter at backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on the social media that we all have, although nobody likes it. I don't like it. You don't like it. The people that use it don't like it. And I'm talking, of course, Instagram and Twitter. At least as long as Elon Musk doesn't own it yet, but we'll get to all that when the time comes. And of course, feel free to hit us up on our TikTok, that TikTok is. Now, I don't really, I went a while without, what is the term? What is thing? Yeah, honestly, oh man, what is going on with that? I guess I have to open the widget thing because, yeah, no, my stream is healthy. You know what? No, most of my bandwidth is going there to Twitch, so that's where it's gonna go because I'm primarily a Twitch guy. So yeah. And again, when all that stuff comes down, yeah, you can get a hold of us on all those different things. And if you want to help us out, then subscribe to the channel, share the channel, do all that stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, which I'm doing a lot more on YouTube and TikTok these days, so that we can get the word out and all that stuff. So there's all that. And you can always, I always put invitations to our Discord server right here in the chat. There we go. There you go. Just click on that link and join the Discord server. And once you do that, you'll be able to communicate with me and all these other really cool deckers that are out here, because the deckers are great and they're awesome and we are happy and we do all of that other stuff. Along with one final thing. Hang on, I meant to show you guys, yeah, look, we have a Discord server. I'm navigating it. It ain't fancy, it ain't sleek and all that stuff, but we're getting there and all that stuff. And of course, if you scroll down and you hit that one little button that says Patreon, then you can become a patron over at patreon.com/BID_P. Hang on a minute. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the page is being a little weird. There we go. Yeah, look at all that. And you can help keep our doors open. All right. So all of that. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about a few things. Now, yeah, I did the thing where I'm like, yeah, we're going to be talking about Thor and all that stuff. And we are. Okay. Because let me tell you guys about my weekend. All right. My weekend started off great. Came up with a new lesson plan. I talked to my girl about quite a few things involving being a new gamer, um, and some of the things that have turned her off in the past when it comes to playing miniatures games, playing role playing games, and stuff like that. Like, I was able to do some field research. I was even able to check in at the Guild House in Burbank and meet some new gamers. And, I almost even had a chance to play a game. And then I was reminded, oh, yeah, it's Seder. And, so it being Easter week, there was a whole lot of different stuff going on. And I was even able to go to one of my other general gaming stores and see what Dead Zone stuff that they had on the shelves. So, the people that live in Orange County that's interested in playing Dead Zone, one of the stores off the 22 freeway has a pretty decent selection. I was even able to pick up some command dice that I might actually figure out a way to incorporate in the Grim Dark Future. And then I got a phone call saying that someone formerly in my life is trying to extort me for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're not going to get it. It's a fight. It's a long thing. But in a nutshell, it took all of the oxygen out of my lungs. Okay. When I first, what's going on, Stargate? What's going on? Let me say what's up to the chats here. What's up, Stargate? What's up, Black and White Now in Color? What's going on in Syncable? I didn't put out an announcement today that stated, hey, we're going live, because I've actually been on the phone with my lawyer while doing yard work, while talking to some of the neighbors about property lines and all that stuff. It's been a thing. Man, my bit rate is just weird, isn't it? Let me just take a look here. I'm just trying, 30 frames a second, doing all that stuff. But yeah, so my bit rate on the YouTube is being a little odd. Because I know, no, I mean, I did the thing and all of that stuff. I don't know. But if you guys aren't liking what you're seeing on the YouTubes, well, come on over to Twitch. All right. So right now I'm pasting the channel right there in the chat in the YouTube. So there we go. There's a whole bunch of that stuff. But yeah, so a whole lot of family drama came up, because it doesn't matter if it's $4 or $4 million. When money's on the line, family becomes wacky. All right. Because there's always going to be one that gums it up for everyone else. And unfortunately, it's my responsibility to take care of that one. But the first thing I did before I started doing all that research is I took a look at stuff, and I really had to reestablish, remind myself, why do we do this? Why does Back in the Deck exist? Because I've got a lot of bills to pay. This is my job. This is my livelihood. And I don't make a lot of money doing this. I barely make enough to survive, and my expenses are probably going up because of the new interest rates that are out there, which means I got to get more subscribers. And if that means I got to get more subscribers and more patrons, that means I have to alter the type of stuff I put out, right? To make my stuff more commercial and all that stuff. Like, where's this line between artistic expression and selling out is the question that's been asked of the ages and all that stuff. And I started thinking about it. And of course, part of the job is looking at analytics and looking at what works out there in the sphere and what doesn't work out there in the sphere. And there's a lot of factors that take in, that are real factors that creators have to take into account. And the one thing, wow, I even lost a viewer while talking about this. Sorry, man. But one of the things that is really, 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 really successful in internet discourse is essentially talking about how everything sucks. All right. D&D as it's written sucks. Pathfinder as it's written sucks. One of the really, really popular YouTubers out there is a dude by the name of Crit Crab. And I really like his presentation and the way that he says a bunch of stuff, or should I say his verbal presentation. He has really cool illustrations and stuff, and he tells stories in a very cool way. but all of his stories are horror stories about somebody who screwed up a D&D game or did something weird and all that stuff. So real big fish can't copyright everything sucks as a term. But here's the thing. I am a middle-aged man. All right. I am going to be 45 years old by Mother's Day. And I am tired, guys. I was a teenager in the 90s. Okay, I graduated college in the early 2000s. There's a lot that's out there. Okay, and over the course of my life post junior high school, as soon as I got into high school, I learned that everything sucks all the time. Music sucks. TV sucks. The stuff from my childhood sucks. Just sucks. I look back on like the milieu of the 90s and it was uncool to like anything. And I'm just like, you know, and I was as guilty of it as everyone else because, you know, I was a developing adult. And like I think back and I hated Green Day when I was a young touring musician. Because their stuff was, what's the term? I hated the universal appeal that it got from teenagers and all that stuff. But the thing was, I listened to more complicated music. Okay. I listened to classical, I listened to Rush, and one of my big things was I didn't realize how good a musician I had become. So my thought was, if I could hear it one time and play it relatively decently, then I didn't like it. You know, I was out there for stuff to challenge my boundaries and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, look at me. I'm trying to be elite. And now I'm just like, dude, I was an idiot because the American Idiot album is awesome. I really like it now at 45 years old. Find myself singing along with it on the radio. And I'm like, there's not a song on this that I didn't like. But why was I so hateful about it when I was younger? I don't know. And then I turn on YouTube and I get capitalism sucks. Communism sucks. You know, every politician sucks. Every job sucks. Waking up in the morning sucks. Work sucks. School sucks. Everything sucks all the time. And I'm just going, I grew up a disenfranchised minority in the middle of a drug war. And that sucked. But even in my darkest times where I wanted to do the big S, all right, I didn't. So what keeps me going? What is it that doesn't suck in the world? And that is the premise of why I built this company, why I do these casts. I like talking to people about things that don't suck, things that we enjoy, reasons to like stuff. There is, at any one time in the world, 70 to 90 reasons why things can be terrible. And when I was growing up, the adults were out there saying, suck it up, life sucks, and then you die. Urgh. And I'm just like, that's not salesmanship. If life sucks and then I die, why don't I just get to that, right? You know, like, what is the point of being here? And then came philosophy and all that other stuff. And I'm like, you know what, guys? There's a lot of dark stuff in the world, especially if you live in the United States or in the Ukraine or in the UK. There's a lot of reasons why everything is terrible. But there's a lot more things that are out there that are great. You know, we enjoy spending times with our friends. Why? Because even when we're spending time with our friends and we're talking about how everything sucks, we're doing that with camaraderie. We're doing that with connection to other people. And I'm not talking about the woo-woo, eat some kale and wave some sage around your house connection. I mean actual company. You know, the reason that we try and get to know people, not just so that we're not alone, so that we have we have people around to share stuff with. And that's why I started this channel. Because guess what? I like a lot of things. There are so many things that I like. Do a lot of them suck? Yes, a lot of them sucks in the sense of they are low quality or they are bizarre or they are strangely put together. But I find as an adult, when I focus my energy on how many things, and I mean my mental energy and my actual energy that I use to do things, if I focus on why things are good, why I like something, instead of why something sucks, then when something that is terrible shows up that I have no choice but to confront, I have enough fuel in my tank to do it because we're enriched by the things we like. We're enriched by liking things. But you wouldn't know that if you spend a lot of time on the internet. Because if you're on Twitter or Instagram, it's either what you like sucks, I'm awesome, like me. And if you're on Instagram, it's you're ugly, you're untalented because you're not me. And you know what? I don't, as successful as that is, as successful fiscally as the influencers who do that are, the fact that they make what I have to pay in mortgage and internet bills and enough to run the company at this level, they make that a week. Okay. I don't want to do that. Everybody out there has so much ammunition and so many excuses to look at why everything is terrible. All right. And I'm sorry to tell you, there is no perfect game. There's no perfect game. There's no perfect martial arts style. There is no job that people wake up to 100% of the time going, wow, I love doing this. Work is a negative word. Sorry. You know, now that doesn't mean take any job and shut your mouth. Okay. I am not on that. The reason I don't have any employees is because I can't afford to pay the people that I would need a minimum of $28 an hour. And if I can't do that, I can't hire anybody. Primarily because I want to make sure that anybody that I cut a check to can live off of that check and can do so happily. I want to make sure that if they get another job offer, their quality of life increases by leaving me. Because I was always taught by my elders that everybody under you, if you're a boss, if you're a parent, you have to raise your children to leave you. You have to raise your children to be successful and functional after you die. And since you're just now figuring it out, it's going to take a long time to teach them that. And if I were an employer, I would have to make sure that every single one of my employees, if they left me, can actually be good on their own or do better than me, you know? And I'm here on this channel to talk about why things are cool, how to make the things that we like even better, how to learn something that we will like that we didn't know before. I want people to have reason to smile in their day. Okay. Now, that means I'm not going to make a lot of money. It's why I'm always pleading with you guys about the Patreon and the sharing and the subscriptions and all that stuff. Because the fact is, if I have to go work at Home Depot, I'll only be able to put up videos and to have discussions like this maybe twice a week, you know, versus as much content as I give to you guys. And I enjoy doing this content more. Okay. But that's the thing. I am a black belt in finding out and understanding that everything can suck and there's 100 reasons, you know. Thanks, Stargate. He's sitting up going, yeah, that's right, Gen X, you know. He's saying, you know, if I need to sell out, just hold on to my soul. But part of selling out, that's the price. It's losing the soul, you know. But I'm trying to build something that other people can buy into. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to look at things and say, you know what? These things are pretty cool. This is fun. Rolling math rocks, saying funny accents, and pretending to be a pirate is fun. Believe it or not, statistical analysis is fun. Fudging, or not fudging, but figuring out how to stack the odds in your favor for situations. That's fun, you know? Or at least it can be fun if you learn how to make it fun. And that's what I'm here for. Because one of the reasons I don't like beating myself up, and again, I am a grandmaster of self-pity, all right? But the truth be told is this is something I pass on to my students and something that my mom passed down to me. Life is going to kick the crap out of you. It's just going to happen. Life is going to change. You're not going to be able to catch up, and it is going to beat you stupid. So don't help it. Don't give it any help. If life is going to beat the crap out of you, you don't look at life and say, here's a crowbar. This is my soft spot right here. Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. But the things that make us strong are the things that make us get up when we get beaten down. Is purpose, is enjoyment, the people that we love, the life we live, the way that we want to make the world better. Those are the things that make us stand up when life beat us down. So that is why I created Back in the Deck. Okay. I created that because the people that get the crap kicked out of them from a very early age, nerds, the people that are disenfranchised and pushed aside, and people that aren't going to be invited to the cool kids parties unless it's a prank, We're here to say, you know what? All those things that you like are fine because they make you happy and they don't hurt people. We're here. We got your back. We like that stuff too. Let's like that stuff together, And that's why I'm here. That is why I'm here. Because again, there is 1,000 reasons out there why everything can suck. I know a lot of Disney fans out there that just love Disney and love the stories. And I know people that love musicals and all that stuff. And they will tell you, I can always find a way to ruin childhood. I can tell you why Star Wars isn't very realistic. I can tell you why musicals are not cool. I can tell you 1,000 things wrong with the church and with work system and with the educational system and with our government and with human existence and with Western philosophy and with Eastern philosophy. I can do all of that. Anybody can. Okay. Anybody can destroy. Okay. But I want to be here and interact with you guys in ways to give me and to give you guys the fuel to go out into that ugly world when we're not here listening to these podcasts and having these conversations. When we're not doing that, we need reminders, fuel, reasons to keep going. And that's why I'm here. You get what I'm saying? And this is why, even when I don't prefer something, even if I don't prefer something, I'm like, I'm glad that you like it. And can you show me what it is that you like about it so that maybe I can get on that road too? I might not be on the same bus as you are or in your car, but I at least want to be on the path so that I can find some of the joy that you find in that. That's why we're here. All right. That is our whole guiding philosophy here at Back in the Deck. This is why I cast. This is why I do this every weekday at 3:00, and there are a lot of people that want to get into this stuff and are intimidated and are expecting we nerds to act like all of the people that were mean to us. And you know what? There's a lot of us that do that. But I think there's also a lot of us that don't. And I want Back in the Deck to be a meeting point, I guess you can say a lounge for new people to come in, regardless of whether or not they were jocks or gangsters or cholos or whatever. And they can come in and be like, you guys are actually nice to me because you like all this stuff. Oh, you're doing that because I'm the cool kid. No, actually, you're the new guy here. You're the one that's out of place. But just because you're out of place in our environment, it doesn't mean we got to be mean. And I want you to remember that when somebody that's out of place where you come in walks through the door. You know, that's what I'm here for. That's how I'm trying to change the world. You know, that's why I created Back in the Deck. And guess what? We are an LLC. Well, Back in the Deck Productions, the entertainment branch is an LLC. So I am a corporation. You know, it's a thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. All right. But now that I've ranted about that, why am I bringing up all that stuff? Well, it's very simple, really. While I was writing all that, while I was writing that particular diatribe this weekend, before I got the call from my lawyer, another thing happened. All right. And what I'm gonna do with that other thing that happened is well, how can I put this? With that other thing that happened, I am going to just show you what happened, and we're going to talk about it. All right? That is the thing that I want us to do. All right? And what is it that happened? Well, hopefully I won't get a strike for this, but it is a possibility. So, not too long ago, I would say like, God, it's been 10 years now. A certain thing happened in comics and people lost their mind about it. So what did they lose their mind about? Well, it's quite simple, really. There was a time in comic books where things were changing. And the truth is, those changes that came up didn't sit well with a lot of people. We got a lot of new characters. And the consequences from that hit the world in a really real way. So let's take a look at what happened, and let's hope I don't get a copyright strike on the YouTubes.
These hands were once used for battle.
Oh, what's that? Yes! That's right. That's right. The new Thor Love and Thunder trailer dropped. And I'm like, oh man, exactly. Oh man. And I'm like, really? Really? He's using Guns N' Roses. Okay, cool. He's doing all that. I'm with that. Now, if you're wondering why I'm cutting the sound every once in a while, it's because I'm doing my best not to get hit with a copyright strike. How can I put this? The YouTube channel is it's not monetized. Okay, it really isn't. But okay, that's pretty awesome.
Remember what I told you?
That's a great shot.
You ever feel lost?
All right, that's a nice suit.
Eyes of the people that you love.
Look into the eyes of Mantis. Hi. Look, it's a Marvel joke. Another Marvel joke.
Just listen.
Okay. Yep. Thor, Love and Thunder. And here's the thing. Oh, yeah. Nice. So, yeah. So what we got on that, so there's a lot that's there. And I'm like, what? The Thor trailer dropped? What? And of course I watched it. And there's a lot there that's looking forward. But I had to bring this up because, and this is important, when Thor came out, and Girl Thor hit the scene, people were pissed. Oh my God, they were so mad. They were just so mad, They were just like, no, blah, 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 woke, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know what, guys, shut up. Okay? 90% of all entertainment is for you. All right? 90% of entertainment is for you. And I hate, I hate. It is all I am programmed to do. I hate. I really hate when people get mad at something new when it's specifically not for them. All right. Okay. I really do. Because I grew up in a comic world where I had Jon Stewart, Luke Cage, Cloak from Cloak and Dagger, and green characters that looked like me. All right. And if you notice, only one of them had a book that was their own. And that book was all about, or two of them. Luke Cage's book was all about being black in the hood. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm bliggity black, and I'm black, y'all. And I need my money. I'm black, and pay me my money. That's all. Black money. That's it. That's all. That is everything there is to me. And it's hard to be a black man, especially when you're trying to get your money. It was nice that there was it was a book starring a black dude. Okay. And then, I had Jon Stewart, but it was, okay, being a Green Lantern sucks. I'm conflicted about now I'm a space cop. And now I'm questioning the authority of the space cops because I don't think they understand what it's like for regular people. And guess what? I'm fired. Great. You know? And here was the thing. I knew that all that stuff was coming down the road, but as a kid, I didn't want that. Okay? Because as a kid, I was Peter Parker, y'all. You know, I was the poor kid that was really good at science, that didn't get along with people, couldn't get a girlfriend, and whose matriarchal figure, or should I say, I was the poor kid raised by a single mother who didn't have another man in their life and always had this overwhelming burden of responsibility on me to make sure that the people I loved were okay, you know, but Peter didn't look like me. All right. And girls, they had Wonder Woman, but name two other female characters that had their own books that were aimed at children in the 80s and 90s that were starring women, other than Wonder Woman. Go. Now, in the 80s, there was Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel. There was Dazzler. All right. There was Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. And again, I know comics, so let me, and I'm just talking about from the main two company. Batwoman and Batgirl. Yeah, that was about it. But Batwoman, new, and kind of thing. Harley in the 90s, yes. Now I'm going to point out something, okay? She-Hulk, kinda. That book was on and off, okay? But really, She-Hulk stopped being an action star and went on existential journeys where she even met the Tribunal. Yeah, a woman did lead Hero for Hires. Her name was Misty Knight. And she was a black woman in the same places as Luke Cage. And I'm bringing up all this, and a lot of people are like, oh, no, you're changing the whole thing. No, I'm building up to a point, okay? Wonder Woman for DC. Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, later on Captain Marvel from Marvel Comics, okay? But dudes, specifically straight white dudes, they got to be gods, interstellar adventurers, super geniuses with a whole bunch of stuff, all right? Girls got to be sidekicks, spinoffs, or street level, all right? And black women, a lot of people are like, yeah, Monica Rambeau, though. And I'm like, okay, you're naming one. And did you know that character before she showed up in WandaVision? You know, that's the big place that I was at. So when Jane Foster was turned into Thor, I'm like, cool, little girls can now be Asgardian gods. I would have personally preferred Sif get a solo series, or they dealt with Hela because she is awesome. But you know what? Give the mantle to Thor, and then they had a couple of books, okay? because everybody deserves heroes, and people are saying that comics are supposed to be for everybody, but if they're not starring everybody, then are they really? You know, but when Jane Foster was made Thor in the comics, oh, you're taking away Thor. No, you're not. His book is The Mighty Thor. It's right over there. um, and I get it. It was a bunch of angry millennial men being upset, feeling as though they were being shuffled out of the relevance market. And what I try and tell them all the time is like, dude, you're not. Because let's say you like Thor, you can still read Thor Odinson, and he's on his own adventures that are just as, if not more epic than Jane Foster. And you still have Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Wolverine, the X-Men, Deadpool, Superman, Batman, Shazam had just gotten his own book again. There's also Aquaman, there's Nightwing. I'm like, you, and let's not even touch the independent things, because you even got Invincible and Spawn, and so you get 90% of the comic book store. Let somebody else have 3. That's a big thing. And I actually read the Gore the God Butcher run and the Mighty Thor and Jane Foster Thor. And I'm like, dude, these were good. These were really good. I was a big fan of it. So I've been looking forward to Thor Love and Thunder, but this is one of those things that can bring up that thing again. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, hold up. Let's see. Let's see here. Diversity need not mean replacing existing heroes. We all know that. Though, you feel like white Nick Fury wasn't that iconic. Honestly, he wasn't. He was, the Ultimate Nick Fury, which is the one that showed up in the books, let's face it, it's just like the Ultimate Iron Man. Most people didn't give a crap about Iron Man. Most people didn't give a crap about Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. In truth, I still don't. But I do love Robert Downey Jr. and I do love Samuel L. Jackson. So, I mean, that's a big thing. And yeah, I know he's not Hasselhoff, but it was originally supposed to be Clooney. Long story. I got it from a Marvel exec way back. But yeah, so, the thing was, when Jane Foster replaced Thor and Riri Williams replaced Tony and Miles Morales replaced Peter in the Ultimate Universe. Not as much for Miles, but there was a lot of pushback, a lot of stable rattling, and I'm like, have you guys read the book? They're good stories. And a lot of people were like, well, and I'm going to address this right now. Okay, with the whole Love and Thunder thing. Well, seriously, why don't you just make original characters? I'm like, shut your face, all right? And I even say this to some of my closest friends, because there are a lot of diverse characters that are out there, specifically in independent comics. The thing is, independent comics don't get the they don't get the distribution that the big boys do. And when the diverse characters come out in the big stuff, people don't buy them. They don't get the advertisements. They're like, oh, look, Static has got his own has his own short run. I hope it does well. Now give me Batman and Metal and Detective Comics and Adventure Comics and Action Comics and a lot of people, one of my favorite diverse characters from comics for a long time, was Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I'm saying that because I have a daughter, and a curmudgeonly super genius who makes super science stuff is awesome. Now, the fact that she's a black girl, that's cool. I can show that. I could have shown that to my daughter at the time. And the fact that she rode a dinosaur, and a little girl who's a super genius with a jetpack that rides a dinosaur. Number one, I'm all in, even if I didn't have a daughter. But I was cool with little girls going, oh my God, I like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I adore Kamala Khan. I adore Miss Marvel. You know, not just because she's a Muslim American, but because she's a hero that wants to do good. She's not edgy. You know? Yeah, I know. It sounds great, doesn't it? So yeah. Honestly, off of talking, and this is what I'm talking about with diverse character. He's trained Duke, and Duke is a young black kid. Still, like, Bruce Wayne has had a lot of Robins. One has been black, one has been a female, and they've both gone off to do their own thing because Stephanie, oh, Stephanie, the Bat character that DC hates. But yeah, Stephanie Brown was Robin. Duke was Duke. And they're great characters that go on great adventures that people don't buy and read. You know, so if we want to get the diverse things out there, sometimes the companies have got to force something that the market looks like it's specifically trying to avoid. Okay. I thought Riri Williams was bad timing, but a great character. And when I say bad timing, she replaced Iron Man because the comics killed off Iron Man, but they did so in the middle of Marvel Phase 2. So now he's one of the most popular characters and they kill him off in the books. That's going to cause some backlash because we're 6 years into a plethora of new Iron Man fans. So that's always going to be a bit of a thing. But with Thor Love and Thunder coming out, I'm like, yeah, they're doing the Jane Foster thing. I loved Jane Foster as Thor. I thought she was great. Okay, I really do. I really thought that she was a great character. I thought she had a great story arc. And in truth, Thor's story arc, Thor Odinson, was honestly some of the best Thor writing I'd seen in a long time. It was him going introspective on what it meant to be him, what it meant to be the god of thunder, what his responsibilities are as an adventurer, as Prince of Asgard, as protector of the Nine Realms, instead of just being protector of Midgard or Earth, you know? And then they introduced Gore the God Butcher, and I'm like, yeah, let's do all this stuff, you know? It was really good. It was great character expanding, but you'd never know that looking on the internet because people are always yelling about how it sucks because it's not for them. Okay? I got into it with a friend of mine about Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care what Brie Larson says about how it's not made for men. Men are not the primary market. Because I look at all the people that were calling her names and saying it's all stupid, it's all woke. And I'm like, would you tell that to a little girl who's cosplaying as Carol Danvers? You know? And for most of these keyboard warriors, the answer is no. And I'm not that guy that goes, well, fight me. I'm like, okay, I want you to go tell that little girl over there who's inspired by what you're talking crap on, that what she likes is stupid and woke. You tell her that what she is aspiring to be with strength and power and adventure and possibility is stupid. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead and do that. And they're like, well, I just don't like that they're telling me that I'm not good enough for them, but they're still demanding my money. I'm like, so don't go see it. But don't poo-poo the people that do, you know? Yeah, you know, I mean, it really is a thing. And in truth, I wasn't that jazzed on Captain Marvel, but it wasn't written with me in mind. Okay. You know, I kind of thought the whole thing was, I thought the movie itself was kind of dull, and I don't know if that was the filmmaking, the cinematography, the lines, or the fact that it came out when superhero movie Burnout was first starting to rise. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to watch it again, you know? But yeah, and sorry to tell you guys, I'm a big fan of Carol Danvers. Ms. Marvel was one of the first books that I really, really, really read when I was getting into comics because my brother liked it. And I'm talking like Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, Jack of Hearts. These are like deep cut Marvel characters. And I read She-Hulk and all that stuff. So if they want to take these second tier characters and move them forward to the mainstream to make them cool and relevant and stuff, I'm like, yeah, and I'll go for it. I still need to get on the phone with some sort of DC executive and tell them to leave Mary Marvel alone. But real talk, these are great characters that do great stories and all that stuff. So, so am I hyped for Thor: Love and Thunder? Yes, I am. Especially because Christian Bale is playing Gore the God Butcher. And I'm like, okay, been wanting to see Christian Bale play a bad guy again for a long time. It's been a long while since Equilibrium, y'all. And The Machinist, yeah. I mean, and he was the main character, but they were bad guys. Let's be real. So yeah, I'm really looking. What are they doing to Mary? Oh, Miss Moose-a-Lot. Yeah, Mary Marvel has gotten the shaft. They've made her a fury for Apocalypse. They've made her afraid to use her powers. It's one of those things of, she's got more potential than Supergirl, so we're going to turn her. And I'm like, dude, you're absolutely right, Alpha Toggin. He did play a bad guy on set for Batman. But see, that wasn't a role. That wasn't in the script. And no, it really wasn't. How do I know? Because I'm a professional. Oh, good for you. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. It actually it reminded me how much I looked forward to seeing Guardians 3, especially since they're making it clear during that trailer that they're going to go out looking for Gamora 2. But y'all know, and if you guys are new to the channel, I'm putting it out there right now. All y'all should know that I am super geeked for Doctor Strange, and I'm super geeked for Black Adam, because Doctor Strange is my dude. And they're going to be introducing a reason for the mutants to be there, so I get Magneto eventually, and Black Adam showed Dr. Fate, and I'm like, dude, let's do this. Yeah, bring in my magic slingers, I'm looking forward to all that. I did not hear that, and I'm kind of on the fence about it. But the thing is, as long as it's a Constantine story, I'm good, Magneto versus Iron Man. Honestly, Magneto versus anyone except his own heart. Honestly, I'm hoping that we finally get to meet Polaris. Since they're focusing on Wanda, I really like her sister, or Lorna, the favorite daughter. But there's a lot that's coming down, and it's easy to get geeked for the next couple of phases of Marvel now that we're going big again, and, yeah, so yeah, I'm a big fan. I was actually talking to my kid, and they gave me a really compelling argument of making Peter Parker a Jewish kid from Queens. And I'm like, it tracks. It really does. Culturally speaking, it tracks. And I'm bringing this up, guys, because right now in the chat, we've got Afatagan pointing out that Magneto's a Holocaust survivor. And I'm like, yeah. So, and I'm looking way forward with the Marvel, with everything that's coming down in Doctor Strange. I'm looking forward to the 4. I really, really, really am looking forward to the Fantastic Four. I've got my dream casting, kinda. I talk about it with my girl almost every night. I think, what's her name? Help me out, chat. Kim Wexler from Better Call Saul. I think she'd be an amazing Sue Storm. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to, a Fantastic Four stuff. And, yeah, honestly, Afatagan, I'm with you. Honestly, most of the Marvel villains who are ideological villains have amazing points. Specifically Magneto and Doom. Okay, even Sinister to a certain example, but Magneto and Doom are honestly my two favorite not heroes from Marvel. And yeah, Magneto has the most compelling argument of any bad guys. And this is coming from someone who my top three Rogues Gallery tiers in comic books belong to Spider-Man, The Flash, and Batman. So yeah. So Magneto being there, that says a whole lot because Magneto and Doom are actually above all of them. Um, mm, okay. And yeah, it looks like my camera froze up for a sec. So, I'm gonna put the music back on and hit the email thing, and I'm gonna fix this really quickly. I'll be right back, guys. All right. See, just had to do a little bit of monkeying around with the camera controls. And yeah, that's some good stuff. Oh, man. And I love that you. All right. Thanks so much, chat, for keeping the conversation going. Let's see what we got here. Shockingly, the DC universe of Lucifer is pretty likable. He is. And not just in personality, at least the one on the TV show. Yeah. There we go. I had to mow my lawn this morning, so my allergies are just like, hey, buddy. Um, let's see. Yeah. Honestly, looking back on it now, thank you, Neon. Looking back on it now, to tell you the truth, I, Mm. Milkweed. looking honestly back on it now, I actually like the Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves. Not as much as I like not as much as I like John Wick and the cyberpunk stuff. Nor not as much as I like Lucifer. Honestly, I think Sam, what's his name, is amazing, and I want to see more of him in that role. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see where all that stuff is coming down. But as far as Thor: Love and Thunder goes, I am truly looking forward to seeing it again, or to seeing the movie, because the more I look at it, the more I like what I see. You know, I am a big fan of I am a really big fan of that stuff, you know. Um Again, I very much like a lot of the stuff that I see there, you know. The meditating under a tree, the cinematography. I don't know who's directing this. Maybe one of you guys can help me out with it, but it looks fun. You know, it looks really fun. You know, I'm liking what I see. I like that, you know, they gave him kind of like a Ravager thing going with the sleeveless thing, because Hemsworth works really hard on those arms. But even beyond that, all right, even beyond all of the rest of that stuff, it's very much it's very much a show of the Ken Masterson's Thor. And I'm looking forward to seeing where they take it. You know, I really do. I really look forward to see where they're taking this. And a lot of the stuff that's coming down. And I froze up again. All right. But yeah, so I guess it's getting a little hot in here, which I can understand all that. But guess what? I mean, it's really coming down to our time is coming up anyway. So what I'm going to do here is I want to say thank you guys for showing up today, because, you know, the camera's dying off right now. But it's at the end of the show anyway. So feel free to send me an email or any of that stuff over at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. Or hit me up on all that other stuff. Major shout out to my patrons, my royalty tiers on Twitter and Instagram, or my royalty tiers on Patreon being Miss Shannon Boom Boom Lame, Miss Laura Holton, Queen Jennifer Kroll, Queen Noah, Queen Chaley Watson, King Christopher Chalmers, King Laura Gross, and also my ace in the hole, my number one guy, Mr. Jason Hines, Joseph Hines, my ace in the hole. If you guys want shout outs like that, all you have to do is head on over to patreon.com/BID_P. That is what sponsors all of our episodes, okay? So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So hit me up with an email on all of that stuff. Now, later on today, after I get this thing fixed and I cool down the system and all that stuff, we have another episode of Warp Tumbler C23 tonight at 6:30. Be back here to see the new episode. All right. Yeah, we've been looking forward to this for, I'd say, you know, the past week. We should have all of our players in, and that should be fun and happy and prosperous and all of those things. But in the meantime, tune in 2.5 hours for another session of Warp Tumbler C23. That should be some fun stuff. And if anybody tells you that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, your disabilities, or your budget, you can tell them to take any of those cards and put them back in the deck. But don't get out of here yet. Don't get out of here yet. because one of our good friends is actually on, so we are gonna raid a channel. Yeah, we're gonna raid a channel before we get out of here. So thank you guys, and we will see you guys on Discord, and check out Life Action Roleplay with Ryan Omega. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here.
And then you would like open a cavern and spiders would just pour out, and it'd be like, oh, and
they're giant, like horse-sized giant, like rhino-sized giant.
Between large dog to horse-sized, like a small pony.
Spider.
So something from Australia.
Yeah, so I mean, like a typical Australian house spider.
Yeah, fair enough.
So funny story. In Australia, they literally call root beer floats spiders.
Oh.
Because that's how many spiders they have in Australia. That children are like, hey, could I have a spider for a treat? Too many. They're too okay with spiders. But yes, in your understanding, these spiders are, roughly the size of a person.
And would I have any knowledge of where they nest, what they're attracted to in their nesting? Nothing? No. Okay, thanks.
Actually, MC, can I ask, how big are goblins in your world?
You're definitely smaller than these spiders.
Pony size.
Oh, okay.
The size of a small pony.
You keep saying that.
Grimble, I don't know how big.
Like Grim will be like the size of a child,